One town board hopes to reduce climate change impacts. The Barnstable Police Department will officially open a new substation this week, and Cotuit Library has some surprising new offerings. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Monday, September 15th, 2014. I'm Sarah Mannel. Finding ways to reduce climate change impacts will take center stage during this week's Renewable Energy Commission meeting. The commission will discuss goals for the coming year, including the possibility of banning plastic bags, increasing public use of Cape Light compact energy audits, and increasing the use of residential solar. The Renewable Energy Committee meets tonight at 6:30 in the Selectmen's Conference Room. A well-used town parking lot is getting an upgrade. The town wants to make improvements to the parking area used for Long Beach in Centerville. Proposed improvements include replacing guardrail, grading the lot, and adding native stone topping. The Conservation Commission will review the request at its meeting tomorrow at 6:30. That meeting will be held in the Town Hall hearing room. The Barnstable Police Department will open a new substation this week in Marston's Mills. The new substation will be located in the shopping center on the corner of Route 28 and Barnstable West Barnstable Road. The department funded the substation in its 2015 budget, and it will service Marston's Mills, Osterville, and Cotuit. Town Manager Tom Lynch recently returned from a trip to our sister city of Barnstable, England. Lynch says the trip to honor the town's 375th anniversary was a wonderful exchange of culture and information.
The first things I learned from the Deputy Mayor, Julie Hunt, at an evening event that we had with them, was that we have the correct spelling of Barnstable.
Really?
Barnstable with a B was the original spelling of Barnstable, but in the 1300s, for some reason, unknown exactly, it was changed to Barnstable with a P over in England. So they maintained that, and when the New World was discovered and colonized, and they adopted names from England like Sandwich and Yarmouth and Barnstable, we kept the B, or maintained the B. But I found the people to be helpful, to be interesting, to be interested in their city. About
30 residents from the town of Barnstable took part in the trip. The Cotuit Library is adding services you wouldn't typically see at your local library. Recently, I sat down with Library Director Jenny Wiley to find out more. Good morning. You're watching Barnstable This Morning. This morning, I am sitting with Jenny Wiley. She is the library director here at the Cotuit Library. Thanks so much for having us.
My pleasure.
I love traveling around to the libraries, and it's been a little while since I've been here to the Cotuit Library. Love this library. There's just a special feeling about it. You guys offer all kinds of programs. You have some special programs coming up very soon.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about some of those programs.
Well, one of the programs is actually surrounding the new donation that we received of a baby grand piano. It's a Storian grand. It was originally owned by a composer and a recording person named Mr. Raposo. He was a Cotuit resident, but he also did a lot of recording in New York. And his family donated this to us recently, which has opened up a lot of possibilities for programming for us. We have several musicians who are coming in to do some education programs with music, but also some just performances available to the community. Our very first one is going to be our dedication night on November 1st, and that's going to start at 5 o'clock. There's going to be hors d'oeuvres and wine served, and the community members are invited to play the piano in a concert all together for the other community members who are here. There is a sign up for that. It's just on our website. If you want to play something, you need to tell us your name and the piece you want to play, and then give us a contact number, because we don't want to make sure everybody's not duplicating the pieces that they're playing.
Absolutely. That's really exciting. I don't think I've ever heard of someone donating a piano to a library, but how great for the library.
Yeah, we're very lucky, especially because lately libraries have been focusing so much on this concept of maker spaces. So having equipment of different types that are there for patrons to come in and not only absorb information but create new information. And the piano allows us to let people come in during the hours on Mondays and Wednesdays when we're closed, sign up for a period of time, and they can work on practicing, they can work on compositions, they can work on all types of things, and it's our own little maker space for our patrons.
And so cool, because that's a thing you can't always fit into your home. I mean, having a piano in your home is just really a rarity, especially nowadays. And I know a lot of people want to learn piano, so this is an opportunity for them to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and it's a really beautiful piano, and it's such a high quality, it would not fit in my home, that's for sure. So when I get to play it and somebody else gets to play it, it's a real treat. So we're excited to have it to offer to everyone.
And there are even more programs happening at the library. What other special programs do you have in the works?
We've been taking a really strong look at our STEAM and our STEM programming for adults and kids. We try to mix it together so that we have it happening for both groups. One of the things that we're doing this year is we have several astronomy programs coming. The first one is happening on November 13th, and it is with a man called Kevin Manning. He's a former NASA scientist, and he's doing a star tour. He has built us a telescope, quite a nice one, and we have 2 other people who have donated other telescopes. When he's finished giving us his program about the universe and the stars, and he teaches us all as a group to learn how to use the telescope that he built, we'll all go outside together and view the night sky, but those 3 telescopes will be available for use by patrons. So it's going to give people an opportunity to come into our library and say, I'd like to use the telescope for this amount of time on this day, and it can be checked out to them, and they can take it, and somewhere around, and the beach is a beautiful place to view the night sky, as is the Village Green over here.
Well, I was going to say Cape Cod in general is an absolutely beautiful place to see the sky. I lived in Columbus, Ohio for a while, and we always used to laugh. We could not see the stars because of light pollution.
Right.
So this is a really great place to take advantage of that. And that's another thing that people really don't necessarily have access to all the time, is a really great telescope.
Yeah, telescopes are expensive. And especially if you're trying to get one that is powered well enough that you can really get some detail out of the night sky. So we're excited to have that. We have several other, through the rest of the year, we have several other different astronomers coming in and doing programs about comets, about how do you rent space on a larger telescope so that you can take pictures. There's a couple of local astronomers that do that, and the pictures that they have of different parts of the universe are just amazing. So we've got a lot of that happening, and that's hopefully going to beef up some of our STEM and STEAM programming.
So cool, so cool. And then you guys have a lot of great programs that you run every month as well. You have a lot of knitting groups, book clubs. How do we find information about those or activities?
So we have a pretty active Facebook page. You can always find information, especially things that are just sort of going on all the time. You can find that on the Facebook page. We make lots of announcements. We do all kinds of silly stuff on there too. And that's just for Cotuit Library. We have a very dynamic website. It's always changing. It's always being updated with more information. You can get the full flyers that are out there for the community. You can also see our calendar on our website so that you can kind of plan out which things you want to come to. And with the rest of your schedule. So those are good places, but we're also a really friendly library, so you can always call us.
Wonderful. So you can sort of just stop by the desk or give a call and you guys can help out however you can.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ways to contact us on the website. There are contact forms people can fill out, and it comes to me or one of the other staff, and we answer back really quickly. So we're happy to do it.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. I really appreciate it, learning all about the wonderful things that Cotuit Library has to offer. And I have to say, I'm going to have to come try to take out a telescope
I know,
soon.
right?
I think that sounds awesome.
I need to be on that bid list too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much, and I'm sure we'll stop by in a little bit.
Okay, thanks, Sarah.
Jenny Wiley is the library director for Cotuit Library. For Barnstable This Morning, I'm Sarah Mantle. We'll be sure to tune into our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will chat with Police Chief Paul McDonald. We'll learn more about the Historical Commission, and we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mantle.